Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we're back with another episode of the Dragon Prince, episode 5. Last time on the Dragon Prince, uh, Viren is finally out of lockup. Still not quite sure how or why. Many of you have said that Ezran made the best choice in the moment, but that we'll see why later on. I understand why he made the decision that he made in the last episode in terms of releasing Vern, agreeing to whatever terms Vern, put in front of him, which we didn't really see. That was done off screen, so I'm not quite sure what. My issue with the decision really was him, his believing that Vern would actually keep his word, because I'm assuming that the trade off was, I will make you regent, although he's trading places with him, so Ezra is going to be incarcerated. He's going to be I don't get it. I guess I understand his decision to actually trade places with Vern. What I don't get is why he would think Vern would keep his word, right? But I understand completely the reasons for his doing it. He felt as though it would prevent bloodshed. If they don't go to war. So my assumption is that he agreed that if he released him, then he would. I don't know. Vern would find some resolution with Prince Kasif to not go to war. But what could he possibly have to prevent Prince Kasif from going to war with them? All things being considered, Prince Kasif is going to war either way. He's either going to war with you or with the elves. So I'm just flabbergasted as to why he would think Vern would actually keep his word. So that was really my main issue with the decision. Not so much that he made that choice, because it was, in hindsight, the right choice to actually make if it saves lives, right? Of course, the last episode we also had a bit more of an uplifting moment between Callum and Rayla. Finally having a little moment there where Rayla actually took the first step in kissing Callum, and Callum, like the idiot that we know he is right now, did not reciprocate. She reacted naturally, of course, thinking, okay, maybe she misread the situation, and um, it's gonna happen. As I said before, I would have preferred if they remain friends, but if they're not, if they're more than friends, I'm just as happy. I'm fine either way. What I like about them is their friendship, and I think that would remain whether they're together or not. But Callum is still, I'm assuming, very much, not yet over Claudia, who I'm curious to see where they will be this episode. Given that, well, Vern is not out, but he's also kind of holding the kingdom hostage to some extent. So what will they think of their dad now that he has placed Ezran in prison, right? And is going to be he's going to go to war. I think there's no doubt about that. So where will Claudia and Soren stand now with their father? Well, more Claudia than Soren, because Soren already, surprisingly, he's the one that already, seems to have an idea as to his father's, ill intent. Right? Claudia is still a bit blinded, but what will she think now with Ezra prison, having spared her from going to prison earlier on? I'd be interested to see whether she switch sides now, or she's still very much going to be loyal to her dad. And of course, we got introduced to a brand new character, Nyx, who I love the character design. Unfortunately, it seems as though she's working for someone. I'm not quite sure who is yet, but she snatched she snatched Azzy, and yeah, snatched the dragon while they were having their little moment, sneak attack in the background there. We're not quite sure who she could possibly be working for. Someone who, for some reason, doesn't want the Dragon Queen to know her cub is still alive. I don't believe that would be the Dragon Queen. I don't see why she would want that information hidden. Could it be someone working for Viren? I don't know. I don't see Viren having elves working for him. I don't see him having working together with elves, even if it's for his own, you know, for his own needs. But what I could believe is that she's working for Arvos in some way, shape, or form. He's been working very much in the background, manipulating Vern up to this point, but I do think he has some pull, just as Vern still seems to do in his own kingdom, even though he's incarcerated. So I do think Averos has allies there as well. So that's my safest bet, is that Nyx is actually working for Arvos, and she wants to ensure that the Dragon Prince doesn't get to the Queen, so that the two nations can go to war. So that's it. Episode 5. Let's check it out. Ezran locked up. I do hope this was the correct decision, though.
Hey,
Bait, found him.
I was hoping you'd be my first visitor.
Can't fit through
I
the
wish
bars.
I could come up there with you, but
Is someone coming to break him out? Bait.
gee, this isn't so bad.
I guess he didn't need to leave him with the baker
She's got Zim!
station, and I thought she should have taken him with him. Come on.
Why won't she come?
Something's in the desert. Did you guys not listen last time? Oh. Okay. I was actually expecting something a lot larger when Nyx.
No!
Yep.
We've got to get back inside before...
Why are you still outside, Callum? At least the barrier works.
It's too dangerous. We have to wait until sunrise.
Even in the sunrise.
Today is a new day. Catullus has a new king and a new royal line.
Wait!
It doesn't automatically make him
Lord
king.
Viren,
How does
King
that work?
Ezran has abdicated. But just because he
Yeah, that doesn't
stepped
make
down
you
does
king.
not entitle you to take his place.
You're not an orphan.
Does anyone else here share Opeli's concern?
Come on, now's the time to stand up, guys. Why is
Viren,
no one
you are
else?
not above the law.
I'm afraid you have misjudged the situation terribly. I am the law.
I don't know. The people know about his treachery before. Why is no
All
one else
hail
resisting?
King Viren.
So, how are we gonna find them? Zim and Nyx.
We're tracking them as we speak. I picked up a thing or two from Corvus. It's subtle, but if you look closely, you can see the Ambler's tracks.
It's kind of hard to miss. A giant footprint in the desert. Anyway, Soren for the rescue. Soren is helping them.
Soren?
I'm here to help. I'm gonna get you out of here.
Yes. I'm disappointed in Claudia. So disappointed in Claudia. Did not know Soren was King Harald's guard.
Is that a mirage, or is the Ambler getting closer?
I see it too.
Its foot is stuck again. This is our chance to
I thought that was
catch up.
a
Hang on.
trick last time.
Okay, listen up. We're gonna have to walk across that bridge without anyone seeing you.
You guys
How are we
probably
gonna
should have
do
gotten
that?
disguised
Don't
his
worry.
robes or
I
something.
brought a disguise.
Ah, perfect. That's it?
There's no clothes in here.
Yeah, you climb in and you'll be disguised as stuff in a sack.
Hey, it
How
makes
about I
sense.
hide in the hay and you just pull the cart?
That works too.
Horses need hay.
Claudia, you understand why Prince Ezran had to be removed.
Of course.
Of course
He
you do.
couldn't have done the things that need to be done.
Others might take a crown out of self-importance, but
You're doing it to help us. To help everyone.
Yes, that's right. That's why I know I can count on you, Claudia.
Everything's going to be okay, Dad. I'm here for you.
Yeah, I'm officially off the Claudia train. I'm done.
I have to go, or my dad'll know something is
he's
up.
going back.
These guys will take you to the rendezvous point.
Thanks, Soren. You're the best crown guard a king could ask for.
Can't say I agree with Ezra's decision. I don't. I'm sorry. Should you come back with an empty cart so they don't know you didn't feed something? Ah, she caught up.
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
You're not gonna...
Well, he's not gonna do that.
This is crazy. This is totally crazy.
I mean, she must have seen you guys, you know? Surprise!
Stupid scheme was, it's over next.
We trusted you.
What's the big deal? I was just taking Zim back to his mum.
Oh, sure
Get home
you are.
faster, and I assume I get some sweet treasure or something as a reward.
Without them?
So, you know, win-win.
Hand Zim over.
Wow, you really think you have me cornered, don't you?
Yeah. I was wondering why she didn't just fly off
Right.
with him.
We did forget.
I am humbled to stand before you. You are the greatest fighting
And
force
these were the
in the
people that
history of
Ezra was
humankind.
hesitant to send to war.
Zadia hates us. But before we embark on our journey across the world, a journey that will change history, there is one unpleasant matter. You see, Ezran, in his last act as king, insisted that all those who no longer wish to fight be allowed to lay down their arms. Well, go on, leave us, cowards!
You were Prince Harold's army before this douche.
No, let them be! Let them return safely to their families.
I don't believe that's
But
what you're
even their
gonna be doing.
families will know that they are deserters. They will wear a badge on their clothing, a badge of shame and cowardice, a broken link. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link.
As he's fighting back.
Cut it out, you little snap monster!
Yes!
Here we go.
Why should he going down there? Oh, as he can't fly, can he?
Careful! Help! Help me! My wings are hurt! I can't fly!
She's lying. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. I don't trust her.
Fangs?
Ah, this is a creature from season 2, right? An illusionist.
I was surprised to receive a message from Catullus. It's not signed, but I assume it's from the strapping young idiot. Dear Moonlit, time to go, Ezran. Fifi will be strongest traveling at night.
The problem here is they have no way of getting inside Zadia without an elf. Yeah.
Callum, get Zim back to the Ambler.
I don't know. Is she gonna become an ally? I don't know. I still don't know who she was working for.
Stay right behind me.
Okay.
Yeah. Get
Callum,
moving.
why aren't you running?
Right, sorry.
So, why did you save me? Even after I tricked you and betrayed you?
Good question.
It's because I'm charming, right? Despite
No,
it all, you
Nix.
can't help but like me?
Nope, that's not it. I do
partly.
not like you at all.
Oh. Then why?
Rayla saves people. She's brave. She does what's
Listen,
right,
don't
even if
start
it
this
puts her
stuff
own
again
life in
unless you're
danger.
willing to follow through
And
with your
even when
kiss,
the odds
okay?
seem
Don't do
impossible.
it.
Even when it means her own people might misunderstand and turn against her. You are so...
Yes.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I just got carried away. Next thing I knew, my lips were getting way ahead of me and...
Shut up.
What?
Yes. Finally.
Wow.
At this point, just forget about Claudia. I'm done with her. Be done with her. Alright, there we have it, episode 5. Alright, rewinding a bit. Going back to, right, we spoke a bit earlier on about Ezra's decision to abdicate the throne and turn it over to, well, not turn it over to Varen, but Varen ended up taking his place. I don't know if this is what some of you were thinking, you know, in terms of his reasoning for doing it, but I don't agree. I'm sorry, I don't agree with it. Because Viren, obviously, he said it in this episode, he's preparing the men to go to war with Zadia. So they're going to go to war anyway. So is it that Ezran wasn't capable, he didn't think himself capable of, you know, preparing the men to go to war either way, and that's why he did it? But if people are going to die anyway, I think that was the worst possible move to make, because at the very least, with him at the helm, he would try to minimize the loss as much as possible. Viren will not do that. He will just send the men to their slaughter if it suits his needs. Better a king that a compassionate king be in charge who can minimize the loss and save some lives and none. So I completely disagree with Ezran's decision there. Why would you trust Viren after everything Viren has done? If it is that Viren promised not to go to war, at this stage it doesn't even appear as though that was the arrangement. He knew Viren was going to go to war anyway, and he agreed to it. So if people were going to die anyway, I don't think you should turn over the throne to a madman that will just carelessly throw away lives rather than take responsibility and try to minimize the loss as much as possible. So I'm not in that. I'm sorry. I love Ezran, but I think this was the worst decision that he has made in the series so far. It is. I don't know. And look at what happened here in this episode as well. The people very much seem to want to go to war. Not that I'm not saying that justifies going to war. If the people want it, that doesn't mean it's necessary. But these are the very same people that he was hesitant to send to war. The very ones who turned against him the moment someone else tried to steal the throne. They were all for it. So you were hesitant to send them to war when they wanted to go to war. And I just find it difficult to believe that, you know, Vern taking over, that there was only one person in that throne room, or at least two if you count Corvus, but there was only one person in that room, his advisor, who, you know, was against Vern taking the throne. These are people who served under King Harold, so I don't know, it just feels no one in the court has loyalty to King Harold. That seemed a bit odd to me, and Vern has been around for a while, but he's not the nicest guy. No, it's very unlikely that everyone there just loved him just like that, and they're all willing to side with him as king, even if they didn't feel Ezran was the best choice to be king, being a kid. I would think they'd want someone else to rule, not Viren, who so eagerly wants to go to war. And I mean, there should be a lot of people there who remember the last great war that happened with Zadia and the loss that they suffered and everything. And why would the people want so eagerly to revisit that? So that part of it was a bit jarring to me that the people were so willing to do this, because the last war with Zadia wasn't that long ago, right? It was still in King Harold's time, so it wasn't that long ago. So why would you? Who knows, right? Even in our current time, we still have people who feel that we should go to war because they benefit from it in some way, shape, or form. So I suppose it's not so different, right? Blacksmiths will make more money because they have to make more weapons and things like that. So it's not unusual, It's just sad. It's sad. But we did have an uplifting moment there at the very end, But before we get to Raylan, Soren, right? I mean, I said it before throughout the episode that I'm off the Claudia train now. I love their character in the first 2 seasons, even in season 2 where she was, sort of walking the line, and she was in a bit of gray area there at the end of season 2, having to save Soren by sacrificing, I suspect, an animal, or who knows what she had to sacrifice, but she had to do something to get Soren to walk again. So even then, I still liked her character. She was doing it to save her brother. I don't agree with it. It's not right, but she was doing it for the right reason. So I was willing to forgive that, but I can't forgive this now, right? Because Ezran had the opportunity to lock her up beside her dad, and she so easily turned against him, right? And not only that, but in order to save her brother, he helped her, and unknowingly he helped her, because I suspect one of the animals that she asked him to help her find was used to sacrifice to help save Soren. So he has helped her numerous times, and she so easily just discarded that, and she was fine with him being locked up, even though he refused to lock her up. And yeah, I understand being loyal to your father, but not when everything is so clear for you to see his intentions. And she says it's for the greater good, but that's obviously not the case. I don't see why she would think going to war at this point would be for the greater good, when Zadia has not attacked or provoked an attack, right? So I'm officially off the Claudia train. I don't know, maybe there will be some redemption for her somewhere later down the line, but that's and I think there will be. I think she will redeem herself. She may even be Viren's downfall, right? Because the one thing I think she would not betray is Callum. But as soon as she finds out about Callum's relationship with Rayla, I suspect that might go south anyway. But I think she will be, at least in part, responsible for Viren's downfall later on. But even then, if she redeems herself, I'm still off, because not after everything that she has overlooked here. I just can't. So I'm off the Claudia train at this point. Soren, however, is the one that for the win, came out, surprised everyone, and helped get Ezran out and the other two. So I'm pleasantly surprised to see Soren take a stand, because he was with King Harold, and he said he was one of King Harold's guard. I didn't know that before. I mean, maybe I'm not sure if we saw that in season 1 or just missed it, but I know he was training Callum, but I wasn't sure I wasn't certain he was one of the king's personal guards. But he was with King Harold. He saw how King Harold treated him, treated his men, treated his people, and he knew he was a good king, which is why it's so much harder for me to believe that the citizens would be so eager to disregard all of that and immediately go to war. But I'm glad to see Soren step up. He's still gone by Vern's side as new royalty, but I think he can probably do more good there than he could with Ezran. working in the background. At least they have someone on the inside that, you know, will question Vern's decisions and could help them later on. It'd be quite interesting if Soren ends up being the king, since Ezran abdicated the throne and they said only an orphan can ascend, which is an interesting law, you know, to choose a new heir, right? Only an orphan can ascend. I like it though. I like it because it does mean that it eliminates certain things from taking place in terms of people in a lineage fighting over who should go next because I am 15th in line and I'm 18th in line and whatever the case might be. I mean, it ensures that there's new leadership every now and then, and it's not, you know, it's not convoluted, it's not polluted by years and years of self-righteousness to some extent because people believe they deserve the throne, right? And it ascends someone who has grown up in more often than not. If you're an orphan, you didn't have it easy growing up, and you don't take certain things for granted. So that's a very interesting you know, law that they have in terms of choosing their next heir, and I like it very much. So very last, of course, certainly not least, is the Rayla and Callum moment, which I believe a lot of fans have been waiting for a very long time. I won't repeat what I've said so many times before, that I would prefer them as friends, but I love them together regardless. They have an ally now in Nyx, I suppose. I do think they should probably find out who Nyx is in fact working for before trusting her a bit too much. If it is that she's just a thief and she's just looking for a quick reward, then I'm all for it. I like the character. I love her personality, her design. So it'd be good for them to get some more allies, because they need allies now that they have an entire kingdom not on their side anymore. So I'm quite happy for that, and very happy that Callum and Rayla finally had their moment. Callum finally stepping up and kissing her. So it's been coming for some time, and it's finally happened, and I'm glad that it happened the way that it actually did as well. So fantastic episode. All right, guys, be sure to post down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this episode, and whether you agree with me or not where Ezran is concerned. Post down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on that matter. Hit like or subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.